This set does not contain any minifigures, however you do get this lovely display stand which kind of makes up for that. On the front of the box you have the Tantive 4 in all its glory shown on its stand, along with the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars logo, which is R2-D2, which is really quite cool to see, along with the LEGO logo, the Star Wars logo, and some lovely box art down below. On the side you have the Tantive 4 from behind, which is a really nice little addition. That is something they have done for all three sets, which is really good to see, as if you line them up you do get a nice little display piece. However, the boxes are all slightly different, which is slightly annoying nonetheless. On the other side you just have different information in the different languages, which is pretty good little detail, along with this lovely box art which continues all the way around the box. On the top of the box you have this 1:1 scale of a piece used in the set. I still think they should use the 25 years brick there. It would just look a lot better in my opinion, because usually you use a minifigure but there's no minifigures to use. And on the bottom of the box you just have all the general information there as well. On the back of the box you have the Tantive 4 render. I think it's a render, not the actual set photographs. You have the dimensions of it, so it's 32 centimeters long or 15 centimeters high, which is a pretty decent size, along with a photo of it from the film. This is uniform across all of these new MIDI scale sets. Unfortunately, to get in this box it is going to be thumb tabs, which some people hate, some people don't mind. I don't personally like them, but I prefer the tape tabs, and it just preserves the box slightly better. So let's get this opened up and see what is inside. So inside the box you have 7 bags, instruction manual, and these larger pieces which are not in a bag. You have 3 of these, so they are obviously going to go along the main centre of the Tantive 4 for mainly structure. You do unfortunately get a sticker sheet. I would have much preferred these to be printed pieces, especially we've got printed pieces in the Falcon, but they're all the same pretty much, so I don't really see why they couldn't have been printed. And on the instruction book you get an interesting view of the Tantive 4 from the front. Probably not the image I would have chosen myself, however it's a pretty good looking instruction manual, and then it's printed on dark grey, which some people love, some people hate, as it can be a bit hard to tell what the colours are. And you have this progress bar along the bottom, and it shows you when you've completed a step. So I'm going to get this built up and I'll catch you in a second. So the set is now all built up, so let's have a look at it. Starting off at the front you have these 2 sticker pieces, which is slightly annoying. However, you do see why they have actually been stickers, because you've got to get the white background on the reddish colour, which is a pretty good way of doing it rather than printing, which might look a bit off for some. That is just mirrored on the side, and then on the top and the bottom you have these guns, which obviously didn't do much when defending against a Star Destroyer. Moving back slightly, you have these 2 angled pieces, and you've got all the escape pods below here, and if you turn it around there's quite a nice little detail. They're missing one, and in the instruction manual it shows, well, it explains that that's the one R2-D2 and C3PO took in episode 4. So as you can see in the instruction manual, that's just explaining why there's a missing escape pod, which I think is a really cool little detail, which they tend to do in these micro scale ships. They just put these little Easter eggs in, which is really good to see. Moving back slightly, the way they've managed to get this like arch type thing is really quite clever. They've used like these slope pieces and just the other bits are the same on this side, and you can see that grey support beam which I showed with the pieces outside of the bags. There was actually 4, one was just in between some bags when I counted. Moving back slightly, this is probably my favourite part of the build. It's quite interesting how they managed to do this. It's pushed in as fully as possible so you get the right measurements, and it's just a really cool way that they've actually managed to do this. So it's like a little smaller lightsaber piece just mixed with a few other pieces. Are really quite impressive how they managed that one. Moving back even more to the main area of the build, this was about 3 bags worth, and there's only 7 bags in total, one of those being the stand. So the majority of the build is actually in the engines, and I think they're pretty good all round. However, these you can angle even though you don't want to, so that's the way they've managed to get the angle. However, you can see they're not all the same angle, which is slightly annoying. I hope it's slightly intentional, however it doesn't go 100% down. The way they've done the side's pretty cool. It's the same on either side, so nothing too special there. And you have all the engines at the back, which are really quite cool with these cone pieces, so really impressed there. I mentioned before about the little Easter egg with the missing escape pod. You can actually see inside the set, you get the C3PO, Princess Leia and R2-D2 in really small stud form, which is just a really cool little addition, which you can't see in the set, but you just know it's there if you built it. Moving on to the stand, it's a different connection way way to what the Falcon did. This time it is 2 Technic pins, and that is probably because the set is actually slightly more off balance. However, the stand itself is very similar to the Falcon. You got these great pieces which match in with the other set similar to this, along with the previous dioramas, and you have the 4x4 printed tile at the front. Unlike the Falcon one, there is no angle, it is just at a 90-degree angle, which I think did mainly for stability reasons. So to connect your Tantive 4, you use this piece at the bottom, and it should just clip quite nicely on there, like so. However, there is one minor issue if you do try to rearrange it. If you lift it up, it leaves that there with it, and then you are left with the massive gap on the bottom of your ship. You can obviously position it the other way around if you really desire. It's probably better the other way, as it just, I don't know, it just looks slightly better, but it does depend on how you have it displayed on your display. So I've just gone to take it off and flip it back around the other way. This time this has come off with it, so it's a bit of an issue. It's not the most secure in there, but you probably won't be turning it around that often. So overall, out of the 3 sets, this is probably my least favourite. It wasn't as good as build as the Falcon. I'm yet to build the Invisible Hand, and I don't really think it is worth its price point of £75. However, it's a really cool display piece nonetheless, and you do need it for the whole collection. You do also get the little 25 years of Lego Star Wars brick, which is a really nice little detail. However, you can't really attach it anywhere, which is slightly disappointing. There's not a little bit you can add onto the stand, which I thought would just complete it a bit more. So that is going to be it for this video. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.